Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 188 of the Well Done Life podcast. Hello, and welcome back to episode 188 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I am so glad that you're here with us this week. I hope you will stay for a very long time and bring a friend. All are welcome. And if you've been here before, you guys know the deal. I love you deep. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. Your support and your words and your intentions and all of that is felt and appreciated. So I really want to thank you. I couldn't do this without you. Before we get into this week's episode, it's really important for me to be foundational. I'm sure if you've listened before, you probably could recite this with me. So I apologize if I sound like a broken record, but you know, it's very important because clarity is here. Clarity is here. And along that lines, yes, clarity and love are really foundational here in this safe space, this house that we are creating. And so with that, I like to just make sure everybody understands that the Well Done Life is a podcast / brand that I created for women because I believe in us, like really straightforward. I believe in telling the stories of women. I believe that we can learn and grow and share together. So for me, it's very important to share my journey authentically, as well as to share other women on the journey so that you can see yourselves in them, so that you can be inspired, so that you can go out and tell another group of women and start to create those spaces yourself. It's all about building community. And I'm very grateful for the community that we have here. And then along that line, my second foundation thing to me, because love is always the thing, is about making sure that everyone understands that everything we do in this space is rooted in love. This is not a space for anyone to feel unloved and valued and uncared for. Everyone here is to be supported and cared for because that's what we do. I'm not serving anything but that. And along that line, it's really important to me that every week I pray for you. I really do believe in the power of prayer. I think that when two or more come together in agreement, it is magnified. So I like to make sure that I am sharing my prayers with you. And this week I am sharing, first and foremost, I want to make sure that you are surrounded in honesty. And when I say honesty, I want you to be able to be surrounded in honesty in the sense from obviously the people and situations that you find yourself in. But I want you to carve out moments of honesty for yourself. I want you to be able to tell yourself that you're not capable of doing something. I want you to tell yourself that maybe this is not the path that you should be going down. I want you to be able to be honest with yourself about people and situations that no longer serve you, because this has been a very trying season, but it's also a season of expansion and a season of growth. And so the only way that expansion and growth, which are very similar in words, can take place is when you are honest with yourself. Honesty is integral in everything that you do. And we can't just expect to be, bouncing off other people's reflection of ourselves. We have to look within, and you have to be able to recognize that there are areas of yourself that probably need to heal, that need to change and adjust, that are impacting you in your life's journey. It's time to deal with those things. It's not always easy, believe me. Being able to be honest about our mistakes, our flaws, our goodness, all of that, it is challenging. But it is also so freeing. It is so healing. It is just such an opener to even new levels and new blessings that is one not to be missed. So I hope that you will give yourself space for you to be surrounded in honesty. And with honesty also comes a sense of accountability. And when I say accountability, I think we do a really great job of holding other people accountable to offenses or things that they need to do or promise to do. But again, sometimes we have a hard time reflecting back into ourselves, our level of accountability, where it comes to our friends, as well as it comes to other people, the ones that we love. It is so important for us to be integral and accountable for for our actions. To be able to really grow and expand, you have to know the trueness of yourself, and you have to be able to hold yourself accountable in the sense for the areas that you needed to work on in your shortcomings, but also hold yourself accountable for those successes as well. Accountability is key in this journey, and I'm sending you prayers of that. Of course, abundance is always wrapped into the mix. I never really kind of spotlight anymore to say, except for I want you to obviously be financially abundant, because when you're abundant, you can be a blessing to someone else. And I want you to be a blessing to someone else. So I don't really pray about that as much, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned it because I think we're all in alignment that is what we want to do. And then my final prayer is I want you to be surrounded in love. Because when you're in seasons where you have to hold yourself accountable, when you're in seasons of trying to be honest with yourself and grow, it can get really lonely. It can get very frustrating. It can just make you cry. I want to make sure that you are surrounded in love so that you are able to lean on the right people to help you through. To make sure that you have everything that you need, and, be good to those people as well, because that's part of the accountability. We can't always expect people to pour into us. We have to be willing to pour into each other and create balance. It's never easy, but it's definitely worth it. So those are my prayers for you this week. I am recording on Saturday, June the 1st, at 10:27 p.m. Happy June. We are here at the 6th month of the year. And I cannot believe how quickly this year has gone. It has definitely been, like I said, a whirlwind. It's been a whirlwind of life. Like, life is out here doing its thing big time. And so I've been super busy. I've been actually traveling this past week for work. I just got back this afternoon, and just trying to get everything settled with my mom and my sister has now afforded me the time where I can come and talk to you. And I'm so excited because we have a lot to talk about. But before we kind of dive into that, I want to make sure that I first and foremost give you guys, my greatest admiration and appreciation for your support of episode 187, just sitting in it, as I have been just sitting in it for a minute. And I know that many of us are sitting in seasons where we're just trying to figure all this out with all the changes that, we're seeing in the world, and just, I'm sure, we're experiencing in our lives. Life is doing its thing. And so I just really, like I said, appreciate the deference, because I've really decided to be a lot more gentle with myself. And when I don't feel it, I don't feel it. But I'm feeling it, and I'm back and very determined to record. And so that is, again, why I'm here this evening, because we have big things to talk about. It is time to talk about the reset again. Yes, the reset is coming. The reset experience is on the way. My first event is going to be on Saturday, August the 24th at the Wave Lake Nona Hotel. And I will make sure I have all of the information in the show notes. But I wanted to kind of kick it back again. I did another episode previously where I talked about some of the reasons why I decided to move forward with this event, because I wanted to make sure that people understood where I was coming from. This is like an extension of my heart that I'm truly leaving out here for the world. And I'm still very grateful and humbled to be able to have that opportunity. But I also want to make sure that I kind of reboot and regroup and explain to you about some of the upcoming changes and why I kind of took this time to push my event back. Because I think, a lot of times we chase original dates and times because we think that that's the right thing to do. But luckily, after a lot of prayer and consideration, I realized that that wasn't the right thing to do, because I had more to give. I had more to dig into. And so that was one of the reasons why, the main reason why, that we decided to push the event, because there's no way that I can have an event here in Central Florida and expect it to grow without having women who are directly from Central Florida and who can give insights and also help you align and be able to create certain action steps that are going to create change in your life, because that's the ultimate goal. Like, I can honestly and clearly say that my goal is that each of you will walk away with tangible information that you have already begun through the course of the day that can effectively help you create change in your life over the next 60 days. And so, kind of before I dive into that, because I just realized maybe I put the cart before the horse, I want to make sure that I explain to you all what the reset is. And essentially it is a one-day experience that I created for women. It's a luxe experience. It's intimate because I want each woman to feel valued and cared for and have an opportunity to network without it feeling overwhelming. And I wanted you to be able to cultivate your resources in a space that felt beautiful because you're beautiful. And so that is why I decided to create the reset. And the reset is based on 4 principles. And those principles are mental health, physical health, financial health, and building community. And the reason that I said it's built on those 4 principles is because when I was in a situation where I previously have mentioned to you guys, that, I hit rock bottom. And I was, if I think about it now, I was impacted in each one of these areas. And I don't want anyone to go through the things that I went through. And for full cover, the reason that I was experiencing these things was because of the fact that, my my mom and my father had died. My mom was sick. My father had died. My sister and I were grieving. Like life was just like doing its thing. I had an extremely demanding job that I wasn't able to take a break from in my mind to allow myself time to process. I was trying to do life and life was doing me. And so I hit rock bottom. And when I hit rock bottom and had an opportunity in my prayers to really feel the power of God, I felt God telling me that this is going to be okay. And I instantly thought of how grateful I was. And I prayed and said, thank you to God that I will follow you. But I want you to understand that I also want to serve the people. And I feel like in this season of my life, it is very important for me to be honest and transparent, the good, the bad, and the ugly of my journey, and stand in it. And he was cool, and my mom was cool, and my sister was cool. And so I started to build myself toward creating the well done life. And it took a very long time. This is over 10 years in the making just to create the podcast. We're not on that kind of time though for this event, so don't worry. But I just wanted to make sure I explained to you, and hopefully in a way where you're able to glean my passion, because I'm very serious about this event. And literally, like I said in the last episode, I have had my hand in every part of it, trying to keep people together as we are going through executing this dream and this vision. So yeah, I had to reimagine it. I had to get a little bit more focused in my community. And I am a resident of Central Florida. I live in Orlando. And so I want to make sure that I am building my community here in Orlando, that I am imparting into women here locally. And I also have another side project that I am working on that also will assist women. And so I want to make sure that everything is in proper alignment. And so I prayed and God said, you know what, it is. And everything has been flowing together since we have reimagined this event to August the 24th. So yes, I am super excited. And with that excitement, like I said, talking about these pillars, I have amazing, powerful women from the community here in Orlando that you'll get an opportunity to connect with. And so I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to give you guys all of the tea because you just need to come to the event. I can't give you everything. Like, this is not what this is about. I just wanted to make sure that you understand the amount of energy, effort, and value that is in you attending this event. Because like I said, you are going to walk out of there with materials that will definitely help you create actionable change in your life in the next 60 days. And so I am so excited to talk a little bit, like I said, about some of the speakers and kind of dive into the pillars a little bit. So the first pillar is mental health. And mental health, obviously, self-explanatory, that is to me like the foundation of everything that we go through. And so I am very excited to have Yasmin Cheyenne be our keynote speaker for mental health. Yasmin is an author. I don't know if you've ever heard of her book, The Sugar Jar, but she, on top of being an author of The Sugar Jar, which is an amazing book to help women be able to understand the power of reclaiming your sugar, your energy, your mystique, your magic of who you are, your essence through your self-respect and healing. She is also a wellness coach, meditation and yoga instructor, and workshop leader. And she has a new book that is going to be coming out that we will also be able to talk a lot about during our event, called Wisdom of the Path. And so I'm very excited to be able to have her join us and to impart her wisdom and her energy into the audience and have everyone be able to connect with her. As well as I also will have Demetria Hill Sloan. She is a certified life and executive leadership coach, trainer, speaker, and outspoken motivator. I had an opportunity recently to attend her Spring into Leadership event with her company, Vantage Point Coaching LLC. And she leverages her passion for personal development and growth to help others achieve high levels of performance and personal fulfillment. And she's amazing. Her energy is so, so good, y'all. And she just has so much information to share. She's also an author of Pearls for the Journey, A Guide to a More Fulfilling Life. And she's written several other articles. So as you can see, Yasmin and Demetria hold a wealth of information in reference to mental health. And I am just very excited to welcome her. I am also excited to welcome Orinthia DeCarish on the panel. Orinthia is a therapist. She's actually my therapist, full disclosure. And we're going to have a really interesting conversation in regards to, mental health and therapy. She's there to answer questions, to be a resource. So I'm just very excited about having that much energy, that much positivity, so many local amazing ladies that are easy to connect with, resources that can be leveraged in the community. So just definitely excited to have her there as well as, and it'll be a rousing conversation as well as, like I said, there will be information that you will glean from that you'll be able to leverage moving forward as you are going out into the world after the event. So I'm very excited to be able to offer that. And then after mental health, that leads into physical health. And physical health for me is exactly what it is. It's just about the importance of taking care of our bodies, because when you are mentally unhappy, that physical health becomes a challenge, because obviously you could be in points where maybe it's just me. I know when I was going through, I used to self-soothe through food. At certain points, I've also self-soothed through wine. I've done the gamut. And so now being able to create healthy relationships with food, due to my mental health being stronger, it's allowed me to really dig into my fitness and be able to make sure that I am taking care of myself in the best way possible. So I wanted to make sure that I aligned you guys with resources who are going to be able to provide you information in regards to things that you can do within the next 60 days to create actionable change in your physical health. So I'm very excited to welcome Dr. Jodine Bontemps Hill. She is a Yale graduate of medicine and has her medical degree from Rutgers University. And she is dedicated to providing evidence-based medical treatments tailored to each individual person's need. She has her own business in regards to JBH Boutique Care. And so I think it's amazing being able to talk to a doctor who provides, personalized healthcare, as well as the fact that she is a board certified obesity medicine specialist. And so again, I think it's a great conversation because many of us are facing challenges with losing weight and doing it effectively and healthily. So I'm very excited to have her on the panel, as well as I'm also excited to welcome Dr. Louisa Ferdinand. She is a distinguished figure in the field of women's health. As a board certified OBGYN and menopause health expert, she's also the CEO and founder of Thrive Beyond Wellness here in Orlando. And she's really dedicated to, again, providing personalized integrative healthcare solutions. And that's essential. I mean, I am over 40 years old, and many of us are in this season where we are starting to begin menopause or perimenopausal, and it is very difficult to advocate for your health. And so I wanted to create space so, again, you can talk directly to doctors who can help you have the lyrics to be able to advocate for yourself in your health. And then rounding out the health panel, because yes, I don't play about physical health. It is very important to me. I am very excited to share with you Dr. Perry Limbacha. Dr. Perry Limbacha is a practicing doctor of chiropractic medicine with a certification in acupuncture. And she is amazing. When I tell y'all she is amazing, she's amazing. She is personally my chiropractor, my acupuncturist. I've been going to her for many years, and she has really changed my perspective on health. And she really is responsible for helping me when my body was revolting because of all the things that I was doing to it while I was going through my grief journey. She was able to help get me back in line. So I'm very excited to share her with you as well. And again, we are all about creating steps that are going to help you create actionable change. So you have people who are going to be able to help you mentally align as well as physically align, because when you are mentally and physically aligned, then that leads really strongly into financial health. And I'm very excited to welcome Leslie Batson. She's been on the podcast before. She's the founder and chief wealth strategist at Rebel Rock Wealth, and they're a wealth strategy firm for independent thinkers. She's a financial professional and advisor who has amazing insights in regards to how to build wealth, how to manage the wealth that you have, and just how to provide tools that are going to help you be able to earn good dollars in this crazy inflation-based in time. So I'm very excited about having her there as well, because again, let's be real. We have to have honest conversations about money at this point in our lives. Nobody has time to play around about the coin. And so I want to make sure that you are surrounded by an expert, because when you are feeling better mentally and feeling better physically, you're able to go out here and do things that can help you be able to cultivate and create more money. You need to know how to manage it. Leslie's here to help you manage it. And then that rounds out into our final panel. Yes, that's a lot, y'all. Can you eat all these speakers that you're going to get a chance to hear into one of my favorite panels, and that is building community. And when I think about building community, for me, it's about being in a space where you are able to open yourself up to new people, to be able to serve in your passions, to be able to connect, to be able to bring people together. And that is something that as adult women, we struggle with. Like, I'm just going to keep it all the way real. We really struggle with building community. And so I know for me, when I was on my grief journey, and even now still is, just going through the lifing journey, it is challenging sometimes to be able to get out and build community. Like I've told people, I literally am like the meme that is in their pajamas with a blanket and their do-rag on, because I don't mind being in the house. After working and dealing with family and obligations, it can get overwhelming. But that is not ideally where I want to be, and that's not where I'm going to be. And I'm going to take steps out to build in the community, because I know the power of connecting women, and being able to connect and collaborate with such amazing women can help shape the trajectory of your career, that can align you into your passion. So it's really important to be able to understand that. So I'm very excited to be able to welcome Tamara Boone. Tamara is a director of business development for Edgewood's Children's Ranch, and she is responsible for overseeing major gifts, special events, grants, corporate sponsorships, direct mail and board giving to meet and exceed their annual financial goals. And as she is out here, in her role, she gets an opportunity to connect with so many people who are influential in the community in the name of being able to obviously serve children. And I think it's really important to talk to her, because as someone who's been able to navigate, community and navigate people, how do you open yourself up? How do you find your passion? How do you get a chance to serve and be able to connect with other women or other organizations that can align with your goals? So I want to talk about that. And then also, I'm really excited to welcome Dr. Zara. Dr. Zara, or Z as she refers, is a founder of Compass Collective Books, and they are a small independent bookshop rooted in diverse, inclusive, and healing-centered books and engagement. And Z has a really profound belief in the power of books being able to connect and inspire, as well as transform lives. I had an opportunity to first meet her as she cultivated an event with Alex L. in relation to her new book. And it was amazing to be able to be in a space where I didn't know a soul, and all of us were committed to healing and open to sharing our emotions and thoughts. That really shows you the power of community, because community is not just networking. Community is also finding your tribe, being able to connect with people who can help expand you to see the world a little bit different. Z is that person, and she's been on the podcast before. I'll make sure I link her previous episode. For every person who's been on the pod before, I will also link their previous episode in the show notes. But she's an amazing lady, and I'm just very honored to be able to have her be a part of the Building Community panel, because she does it so well, and I can't wait to share her with you. And then rounding out the Building Community panel is Sheena Jackson. Sheena is a very passionate community enthusiast and strategist, and she is an Orlando native. And so she is currently serving the community in many different ways. She has worked with the African American Chamber of Commerce, as well as she has been with she's currently with, Rosen Hospitality, is member of their community and foundation relations team. And so she is looking to strengthen local community bonds to make positive impacts. And so I'm really excited to talk with her about how she was able to navigate, again, finding those outreaches that help her be able to build in the community, to serve in a way that's going to help better our community. Building community is essentially making it better, but at the same time, being able to connect. And how do you find the comfort in being able to do that, especially as she has had many high profile roles with organizations in the area? I want to make sure that I'm creating space for women to be able to understand that you can do that too. And how did you do that? And be able to share. So I'm very excited to talk with Sheena and to learn more about her journey. She has such an amazing energy about her, such a sweet person. And again, like I said, this is a room where you're able to meet all of these amazing dynamic women and just be able to hold space with them. And so those ladies are all rounding out all of the panels. And then obviously this is always going to be very female forward led event. And so I'm very excited. Our MC is one of my closest friends, like a sister to me, Katie Pearson. She is an educational leader, and she has served in the community for so long, as well as she has a variety of other talents and has her own beauty business and natural beauty products. And she's an amazing lady. And so I'm just really excited to share her energy. Katie and I have known each other for so long, like since high school, and we have seen each other through many different things. And she is just such a light. That is what this event is about, shining lights, and all of these women are lights. And so I'm very excited about sharing them all with you. And like I said, it's a lot, but isn't it a robust panel? I mean, it's just so many different ladies that you get a chance to connect with, so many different people that you will actually get a chance to hear from and learn from and be poured into. Because again, it is all about creating a space where you will be able to walk out with great swag, but swag that is going to create actionable change over the course of 60 days in your life. And those 60 days are very important because it takes 30 days to create a habit. So you take that time to pour into yourself to create the habit. I want to see that you're actually executing it. So let's give you 60 days and see what you do. And you'll be very pleasantly surprised why that 60 is so important. And we'll talk more about that at the event, because again, like I can't give it all away. But I wanted to take this time to, like I said, introduce the women, kind of talk about some of the things that they bring to the table, and hopefully tease out so that you will understand why it is so imperative for you to be at the Reset experience. So I'm going to link the website, which is thewelldonereset.com, in the show notes, but tickets are on sale now. And the website has all of the information about these amazing ladies so that, like I said, you can see that this is about creating space and doing something where together we can just create beautiful energy as well as actionable change in our lives, because we are all out here ready to expand and grow. And I promise you, in these areas that we're talking about, by doing the work in them, you are going to expand and grow by leaps and bounds. So I'm very excited about being able to kick this off. I'm very excited about doing this inaugural event. Yes, I'm already thinking in my mind about how I want to do 2025. So I want you to be in the place for 2024. And if you have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll make sure that I have my email, hello@thewelldonelife, in the show notes, as well as, like I said, a link to the site. And kind of wrapping it up, the hotel, the Wave Lake Nona Resort, is beautiful. And it is so important for me that you are in a space where you feel at peace. And that resort definitely evokes peace because it's just so creative and it's just so calming, and you are going to be catered to and taken care of. So see, we're out here creating actionable change as well as aligning you with amazing dynamic women from the Central Florida area. And we are creating it in this beautiful space where you get a chance to relax and reset and go out here and create change over the next 60 days that is going to be super powerful. So I really hope that all of you will consider coming, and come on, get a ticket. The inaugural rate is still active. You'll see all the information that you need for it in the show notes, but I definitely want to invite you to come. Over the next few weeks, as we are leading up to the event, our content is going to shift toward those 4 pillars. So we are going to be talking about mental health. We are going to be talking about physical health. We are going to be talking about financial health and building community, because I want to make sure that we are laying the proper foundation so that when we get in this room together, you're like, okay, Pam, let's go. Because, yeah, I'm ready to make change and you're ready to give me the resources to do it. Yep. Like I said, no gatekeeping whatsoever. It's all about growth and elevation. So I want to thank you for listening this week. I hope that you are having an amazing start to June. I am truly praying and believing great things for you. Like I mentioned, all of the information will be in the show notes, but I do want to say, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I can't wait to talk to you, and I will be back next week. Have a great rest of the weekend. Take care. Talk soon. Bye-bye.